We are here, the founder of AtomiComedy and a wayward staple down in Santa Fe. Please give it up for Dave Zimmerman. Oh.
All right, wow, what a crowd. So let's give it up to Taylor for hosting. And let me just, before I get started, address the elephant in the room. Technically, I don't do stand-up. I just do sit down. So, can people in the back see me okay? Okay. All right, well, so I know a common thing for people to get up here and talk about is relationships, both the good and the bad. Mostly the bad. I mean, the good stuff can get applause, but it's the bad stuff that can get the laughs. So I can't really talk about dating or short-term relationships very much, but I can talk about long-term stuff. Shauna, who's right back there, and I will soon be celebrating our 22nd wedding anniversary. Thank you. See what I mean, though? So, I haven't really had to try to look for a date since like the 90s. Back then, well, I was a little different. Well, so I wasn't very good at, finding my own date. I would often rely on like a friend to set me up. So people still do that? Okay, well, assuming they do, I'm going to bet that it ends the same way that it always did when I was set up. It's me going to my friend and saying, "Man, what the hell were you thinking? Do you know me at all?" We also didn't have Tinder. We didn't have dating apps. We didn't have apps. You wanted to find a date, you needed to look into the personals or write your own. And they were not particularly useful. There's no picture, no useful information, no swipe left, just swipe right. So I used them for a little while. To give you an idea of just how well they went for me, Shauna and I met at work. So when we first started dating, I still remember I got that nice fuzzy feeling of, hey, yeah, nice fresh start. Chance not to make all those same stupid mistakes in a relationship again. And yeah, I didn't. I just made all new ones. So some of that has to do with the fact that, everyone's different. And some of it had to do with the fact that I was in different stages of relationship that I'd never seen before. Things like marriage and kids, and, with the kids, pregnancy. Now, I knew that as a guy, you want to be real careful about anything you say about pregnancy. Ideally, you really don't want to say anything at all. When I was a kid, I saw my dad learn the hard way. Before you ask a woman when she's due, make absolutely, positively sure that she's pregnant first. So I knew you don't say anything before, you certainly don't say anything during, but I had to learn the hard way not to say anything after. So when my now 20-year-old was just a few months old, we were going, I don't remember where, but we didn't have a baby Bjorn or a stroller or anything, so I was just carrying her. After a while, she starts to get kind of heavy. I asked Shauna, can you carry her for a while? She just gives me this snarky look and says, I carried her for 9 months. So I had what to this day I maintain was a clever, funny comeback. So, well, yeah, but she was much lighter then. And that's why our kids are 3 years apart. So eventually we did have the second kid. She's 17 now, and when she was 3, I was doing a little tidying up in the living room, and I asked her, I said, can you pick up some of your toys? She just gave me this look that was eerily reminiscent of ones that I'd seen her mother give me. Just walked off, didn't pick up anything, didn't say anything. And just went, women. Shauna looked at me, I said, don't say that, she's 3 years old. And I said, well, all right, first of all, a boy wouldn't have done that. He would have screamed at me or told me to fuck off or something, but he wouldn't have given me that look. And second of all, what do you think you become women when you're 21 or you're 18 or you're 13 or something? No, you're all born that way. And that's why we only have 2 kids. So we only have the 2 kids, but we are still married. People sometimes ask me, how do you stay together for so long? I say, well, we have some key similarities. We're very well aligned politically. We always see eye to eye on how to handle money. We've never had any real disagreement about how to raise the kids, except for maybe what you would call them, and they give you funny looks. We also, just as importantly, have some key differences, which keep us from spending too much time together and driving each other crazy. So she's way more into theater than I am, which includes recently directing the hilarious smash hit, The Play That Goes Wrong. And if you didn't get to see it, all I can say is, I'm sorry. So I'm more into sports than she is. So she's always been and still is really into travel. And even when I was more mobile, I was just more like, more of a homebody. And say, oh, you want to go hike the Scottish Highlands for 2 weeks? Yeah, you go have fun with that. I'm going to enjoy just staying here, having a house to myself for a while. We have one other difference that for some people seems to be a big deal, but we don't really notice. There was a family friend's father who was talking to him, and out of the blue he just says, oh, that is so nice that you and Shauna can make a mixed marriage work. I just looked at him kind of confused. Mixed marriage? Pretty sure we're both white. And he said, well, yeah, but she's Catholic, and you're, what are you? He said, I'm Jewish. Oh, yeah, that. And I just kind of chuckled, because that has literally only come up a handful of times, the whole time we've known each other. Never been the slightest problem. The only time it was even close was when we first got married. We each wanted a religious ceremony, but we couldn't come to a good compromise. So we just got married by a judge. See, the way the hotel we got married at was situated was you had to walk through the bar to get to where the ceremony took place. And one thing that we definitely agreed on is we are not starting our marriage with the story, a priest and a rabbi walk into a bar. So some of her family was a little upset we didn't have a good Catholic wedding, because they're good staunch Catholics from Central Ohio. And so part of them being good Catholics is that among Shauna's mother and her mother's 3 siblings, there were, 4 out-of-wedlock pregnancies, 3 shotgun weddings, 2 divorces, 1 stay at a convent meant to house unwed mothers and hide their shame and secretly give the babies up for adoption, but most importantly, 0 abortions that we know of. All right, so I made up one of those things. Any guesses which?
No abortions.
No, there were no abortions. Another guess? Someone guessed something. What? No, the convent was true.
Another family.
What's that?
That there was another family.
Another family.
That she had family.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll just tell you then. There weren't really 2 divorces. There were 5. So when Shauna and I first met, we were each down to 1 biological parent. Now we're down to 0. She still has her stepdad, though, and his wife, who I like to call Step Squared Mom. And he and I get along okay now, I guess, but we got off to kind of a rough start. First day I met him, we're meeting at his house for dinner at 5. Shows up an hour late, no apology, just says, oh, yeah, the gas station raised their prices. So I had to drive all around town looking for a better one. I said, oh, well, how much did they raise their price? I said, 3 cents a gallon. 3 cents. Okay, I'm pretty sure that you burned more than the 50 cents or so you would have saved doing all that driving around. He just looked at me and said, that is not the fucking point. I refuse to pay more for gas than I need to. So the next day, things didn't really get any better when I was in their kitchen drinking, finished a can of Coke. And I said to Step Squared, Mom, where do you put your empty cans? And she just looked at me with just pity and like I was the biggest idiot in the world. And said, in a garbage can? Things got even worse the next day when out of the blue he asked me, why do you want to marry my daughter anyway? Now, I thought he was kidding, since that is a weird question to ask someone. So I just came up with the first thing that came to mind, which is, well, I hear that a man's car insurance rates go down when he gets married. Apparently he wasn't kidding, and yeah, he didn't really care for that answer. So part of my adjustment to all of that was her family, but a lot of it to Central Ohio. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a bit of a different place. Among other things, it's in a different time zone. You go there, you need to set your watch back 30, 40 years. So Shauna's family is still mostly there. We go there every couple of years. We got married there. And on the trip where we got married, remember this is, 21 years ago. On the day that we weren't doing anything, we decided, hey, let's go to an amusement park. And while we were there, one of our friends says, I'm kind of hungry. Can we get something to eat over there? Points at this burger stand. And they said, ooh, yeah, I'm a vegetarian, remember? I don't think they're going to have anything I can eat. And one of them says, well, can't you just get a garden burger? I just laughed. A garden burger? Tell you what, I will bet you lunch that guy right over there has never even heard of a garden burger. All right, incidentally, does anyone here know the acronym TANSTAFL? Nobody? Oh, okay. So that is a simple economic principle. Explains how you just can't generate wealth out of nothing. So the acronym TANSTAFL stands for, there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there was that day. So a couple of years later, we were traveling to Ohio again. We had my then infant daughter. We were eating at like a Red Lobster or something. She needed a diaper change. So I asked the waitress, hey, do you have changing tables in the bathrooms? She said, oh, of course we do. So I go in there and I don't see one on the walls here. Maybe in the stall? No, not there either. No. Fuck it, I'll just change her on the floor. And so I did, to the absolute shock of a couple of guys that walked in there while I was doing it. A couple of minutes later, get back to the table, waitress comes by and said, hey, sorry, but there's no changing tables in the bathroom. Well, I was just in there. Of course there are. Okay, well, I was just in there too. I didn't see any. Wait, did you go in the men's room? Is this a trick question? Yes, of course I went in the men's room. Well, why would we have changing tables in the men's room? So I was just about to answer her, and right before I did, two thoughts came to mind. One, there was no point in answering that question. And two, I then realized why those men looked so surprised. Wasn't the sight of seeing a man change a baby diaper on the bathroom floor. It was at the sight of seeing a man change a diaper. All right, thank you.